Right here, standing by your side. Open up your heart and let me in. I promise not to break you. I promise I'll be all that you want. So let me in my heart before. Let me in. Oh, your love explodes. Our hearts implodes. Your love explodes. Our hearts implode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Spate Skirmish. It's number 3 this time, and
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of different strategies come out for a lot of different maps, but one thing is that, you can always improve on these strategies. You can always make it to where your strategies can further enhance how you play. And that's something that, you don't see a lot with teams that are just doing these tournaments under random names, but it also just comes from playing enough Valorant that you know strategies without even having to say anything.
but we do have the benefit of knowing what the map is. If I can scroll and actually find what it is, I didn't check, but I believe it is Haven.
Yeah, I
Yep,
mean,
Haven.
I've seen some weird comps coming into play actually with that map. I've seen a lot of Clove lately, them being new agent. There's always a lot of potential for them, but you also see some differences in your Sentinel with some teams preferring Killjoy and some teams preferring Cypher and Deadlock as well. There's the occasional Sage we'll throw in there, but those three being one of the main aspects of a Haven comp.
Yeah, Haven really has been one of those that had a meta. Then it got kicked out of rotation. The agents were a little wishy washy. Meanwhile, and now you come back, everyone's kind of confused on what to really play here, but that's just the name of the game. Everyone loves a good matchup, but unfortunately for one of these teams, this BO1 will not go their way. One of them will be going home, and honestly, I hate to see that, but I think we have seen this matchup before, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't recall seeing. Well, do you mean these two teams play?
These two teams, I
I
think they
I
did.
don't recall. We'll
Hold up.
definitely have to fact check that for either in about 20 seconds when Ari gets all of it
Hold
pulled
up.
up, or
I'm
during
looking.
our break. But yeah, I mean, not only was it interesting seeing these two teams come up to play each other, especially both losing out to Spate. But also the fact of it was, I think Shrek's Ogres actually managed to take 6 rounds off of Spate, whereas fortunately STX WTP did not take a single one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little rough, and yeah, maybe I am getting my brackets mixed up. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, I'll give you this one, but it's they still made it to the same rounds time and time again. And yeah, like we mentioned, they did play Spates, that being the solid opponent. They are no longer in this skirmish right now, so the gates are wide open for a spot in that semifinal. Take your pick on who's going to make it there. We got some new faces, and hopefully we'll see them. But right now, the agent select will show us probably kind of the similar of what we expect.
Yeah, and right here, we see Winton pulling out, picking the Clove, hovering the Clove actually, but you see Mikester as well hovering KJ. And on the side of Shrek's Ogres, we have an ISO and a Yoru with, just your single Sentinel, single controller and single initiator, but on the side of STX WTP, it's sort of more streamlined where you have your cipher, you have your info, you have your flashes, you have your stuns. You also have the pick me up from Clove.
Yeah, the pick me up is like that combat stim ability, and then the not dead yet already that ult to really provide them an extra bonus in the round should give them a solid advantage. I mean, the whole reason that you would play Clove is to kind of have that extra trade to go on through, just like a Phoenix ult, or I guess depending on how you use it, a Sky Trailblazer. But no skies today. It is just the stormy rain of Breach. And Breach is a beautiful character on this map. So many lines that you can stun through, especially the flash is so versatile. And sure, they don't regen, but nor do skies anymore. And now you're finding yourself just an absolute brawl, especially now that you see Yoru and ISO in the picture.
Yeah, especially as well. I mean, a lot of the name of the game for a map like Haven is specifically and a lot of the times just who can take mid control. But at the same time, we also have to think that these other teams are going to be trying to take as much space as they can on the opposite side. So I hope that it'll be a really great game, but I can't help but think that one of these teams has the potential to run it.
Now, speaking of running it down, look over towards that B site. It's the ISO already taking the aggressive space. And, well, if we know one thing about ISO players being, at least in this patch or the previous, it's still that they love to get aggressive, just run on in there. But Cyborg at least waiting for the right moment, right? The presence was spotted, so you're going to have to take an extra second. And Zurek, I mean, do you think that they eventually commit to this hit?
I mean, right now it looks like it's gonna dash in. It doesn't. Blocks off site really well, but Winton takes out a Veek down the flank, gets flashed by Thug Hunter, and now there's one person sitting in heaven, but there's still 3 others running it down towards the flank and one holding the sewers angle, and Sultanate takes out Smalls. Nice.
Part of the Dong's got to move, and already does not make the right timing happen. It's a nice try on the flank, but now just a 1v1. Mikester will actually go down. Thug Hunter disrespecting, going for the peek instead of the stick, and that is enough. The overhealth wouldn't have actually prevented that fall damage, I don't think. So you could have seen the Clove going down there to fall damage.
Yeah, I mean, right there, you could have seen Meister. Meister decided to drop down to potentially die to fall damage, but at the same time, there's not a lot you can do because now you're constantly worried about that one person playing Heaven, and then your Sewers player dies, and all of a sudden, now you have multiple different angles you have to look at because you don't know how many are going to be swinging from the flank. You don't know if it's 1, 2, or all 3 of them sitting there, but fortunately for the side of Shrek's Ogres, it was very beneficial for them.
I mean, I actually love the play to go and flank through A that previous round because retaking A is such a pain, regardless of how much util you have, because you're all funneling through one choke and a drop down. And we all know you can't shoot through midair. This isn't that one glitch that Neon had with the new slides coming through. That doesn't exist anymore. So you really have to find solutions, and it looks like the flank play was the previous, but now a whole separate round. Thug Hunter and Cyborg just landing the shots, and sure, Interlaced will get 1, but the damage only resulting in 1 kill and some shield damage, as it's now just down to Winton, who has been heroic before, but here, it's going to be tough to do so.
Yeah, and Cyborg, holding that smoke, is able to take down Winton, but that's pretty good for their economy because not only do they keep 3 players that have Spectres and full shields, they still have the ability to buy full shields for their Vandal player, and that is Thug Hunter with the Dimensional Rift already on the line, might I add.
Oh, this is a nice spot.
Yeah, and going into this third round now, bonus for conversions, we always talk about it, have a huge amount of momentum here. And I like this play, right? Tripling up towards B. You have to make a gamble somewhere. So taking the early space, being rewarded with it with that regression is going to allow you to push up, take the space, and now have the upper hand in this round. I mean, the Cypher is unknowingly staring at 4 people at just the opposite side of one wall.
Yeah, and right now it does look like Mateo is slowly creeping on to site with Interlace sitting down into sewers, but they also do have to look out for Lord of the Dong still sitting in in the spawn, basically looking more towards that heaven side, but looks like basically a repeat of the first round, where we had that 4 players hitting from the flank.
Ooh. At least got the 1 kill. A little bit of a whiff coming through, but it is a 1-for-1 trade at the end of the day, and on a bonus, you'd certainly like to see that, but they don't clear sewer. This is the adaptation from the attackers, but they don't take advantage of it. They don't swing towards long. They think somebody's aware, but they aren't, and right now the shots are going to go a little wide for Lord of the Dong, but the bullet's not for Cyborg. Sultanate running and gunning all the way in, still finds 1, but 2 more will take its place, and finally, a round on the board for STXWTP.
Yeah, and it really is a massive round that they needed because they're going into, that round with at least some type of gun advantage, but they're also going into that round completely reinvesting what they can into it. So, those 3 rifles that they lost may not seem like a lot when you see them buying, a Guardian, 2 Guardians, and another Vandal, but you also see the entire side of Shrek's Ogres. They're rebuying all the Vandals and full shields that they lost there.
I love all of the potential for Sova darts on the C site, and here the Cypher trip will prove a little bit more superior. 1 kill gained, and sure, you're going to get this bomb down. But what do you have for win conditions? That Hunter's Fury is a nice one for stall. The kill contract, I believe, was invested, or at least something was, but a trade nonetheless going out towards that garage side, and Hunter's Fury used early means that Interlace really just has to hope for spam, hope for the shock darts, and first one doesn't even land. There's so many players just staring at them, and Sultanate 2 HP proving to be enough. That's going to be a 3rd round on the board for Shrek's Ogres.
Yeah, and that's also, going to bring the Neural Theft online, but it's also the same for the opposition. We also have to think, right? The kill contract is used. They are 2 away from getting the pick-me-up, getting the Blade Storm, but they're also 3 away from getting the Rolling Thunder. So there's a really big difference where you have to think, are they going to try and farm these orbs and play for a few rounds in advance, or are they just immediately going to try and get the instant ults that they can use potentially on a save round?
I mean, certainly against an eco buy, right? You don't want to end up stumbling and falling, but you do want to spread the wealth, if you will, spread the ecos for everyone so you can each get closer to the ultimates, but also, right, focus on getting at least 1 online for each round, having one maybe being 1 or 2 away. That way you're gonna cycle your ultimates and have enough for win conditions through multiple rounds, right? So even if the economy does kind of go to shambles, you still have an extra buffer, which are those win conditions. Mateo walking in towards the A site, and oh, the timing is rough for Cyborg. Everybody looks too far away, and Mateo, you might just want to stick to the share for the rest of the game, homie, because those were clean, and the A site opens wide up.
Yeah, and their Yoru unfortunately had their TP all the way thrown towards that C main area to make sure that they could try and get a TP play onto 1, but Sultanate is going to be taking the first contact. It's like Interlace getting ready to Sova dart for them, and it's going to work as Mateo picks off the 3rd, 1 sitting up in heaven. Interlace gets it through the smoke and through a wall, and Mateo takes the 4th with Lord of the Dong being their last victim. And that is your 5th round.
I mean, it's a thrifty round, but it's also a flawless thrifty, which is not what you want to see if you're Shrek's Ogres. What does that mean? They made a mistake there, and it's just that they didn't have info, right? You have to know that there's going to be some sort of aggression, and maybe it's a contact rush. That's exactly what happened the previous round. Now you don't have enough to react off it. Nothing's smoked, and now your Jet's just in sight. Mateo's absolutely popping off, and yeah, now you see that adaptation, but too little too late. The credit's gone, dusted, and, well, a round in favor of your opponents. But now, new round, new me. Maybe we can see them start to pull something through that gives us a little bit more confidence they know what they're doing.
Yeah, Thug Hunter getting very risky to buy the buck. He still has the dimensional vision back online, but Cyborg takes out Mateo. As you know, Mateo was looking for a very good pick, and Mikester's gonna take the trade back. A little late, but still the trade nonetheless. The man advantage is no longer there. As I say that, Sultanate takes out Winton.
I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. All the shots, really, really nice, but we want to see that mental game also starting to match that level. This dimensional drift, it's spotting out everybody that's needed. And will we see back-to-back thrifties? Yes, we will. It'll be Thug Hunter with the Bucky to claim one, and a decent cost in terms of ultimates, but certainly not of the weaponry.
I mean, it is a decent cost. You have you have some alts getting used there, but now you have the Blade Storm online for Mateo. You've got the pick-me-up ready to go for Mikester. And you've got, that Neural Theft online just waiting to be used. And Neural Theft is one of those abilities, it's very easy to farm, but you never know the practical use of it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those on-the-fly abilities. I mean, on my teams that I've played on, I've heard coaches say, as soon as you get it, just use it. Secure the round, make sure you don't fall short. But obviously, when it comes to this caliber of organized play, right, there are definitely better uses where that information, you can desperately, desperately need it. Here, Mateo spotting out the one player, but all that utility used and no kill found. You'd have to consider that at least a little bit of a small win for the defenders here, as that's going to force those attackers to pivot off of A. They don't really have the util, and they're going to have to rethink their approach.
Yeah, and honestly, rethink is what they'll do. They noticed that flash came out like they were going to try and fight something, so there had to have been one more holding an angle that would have been advantageous to flash from, but it does draw the rotates over, and Mateo's going to entry into sight. Winton gets the pick onto Sultanate. Thank you.
30 seconds
It was the dart. The Neural Theft coming out. Ravik knows that there has to be one there.
They have to, right?
They have to, right?
You got to be aware of this. I mean, the Neural Theft's used, so now everyone's playing off of your noise, and you're going to see the timing absolutely taken by Mikester. Played to perfection, and with the ults used, the Rolling Thunder to secure it, you leave just Thug Hunter. And sure, the gun with the gun buddy looks clean, but I don't think Fashion's going to save you in this one. Might just be another round chalked up on the board. There's a dink, and Thug Hunter is most definitely going to run away from that. That's going to be a save, but an extra round to almost get this one tied up.
Yeah, I mean, Thug Hunter, in my books right now, looking to preserve the KD, sitting at a comfortable 10-2. But at the same time, these aren't rounds that you can easily just give away. These are rounds that are very, very useful because it helps build your economy. And right now, you see Mikester, you see Interlace, you see Winton and Smalls all sitting comfortably over 4,000 credits, but Mateo has the Blade Storm in case they have to save.
I will say we definitely have seen the Shrek's Ogre's play style change throughout the rounds, and in that dominant nature that we saw towards the first 3 rounds even. I mean, yes, they got bested, but I guess you could chalk that up to the gun differential. They have the great game plan, and they do here as well, taking that aggressive contact towards A main. Thug Hunter finding the first, and honestly, they've claimed the space, and sure, you hear the shot, but how many more players are behind the one? if there's a full stack, you feel like they would have made some sort of extra noise by now, but they're taking this a little slow, and Interlaced will find the pick over on B. That's the capitalization on not re-peeking with the space. Thug Hunter, though, choosing to do so now, and we'll get maybe a little too greedy this time. But not dead yet, used in the breach ult as well to stall it on out. Mikester just has to live for a second more to get a kill, but Lord of the Dong vests them in the gun duel, just down to one lonely Cypher. And sure, the bomb is on site. It has been faked, it has been tapped, but ooh, that was an interesting sort of, I don't even know what that was, but either way, just a 2v1, and Winton now spotted. It's gonna be tough, but still the first kill secured. It's actually doable. Cage, everything just needs to go their way, and will it? The shots are the only thing that don't. And Cyborg at least saving Shrek's Ogres from what could be absolute disaster.
I was just a tactical one-way, right?
Sure.
The only thing that I'm thinking of whenever I see that is it was a game, is a team against Carmine Corp. Someone threw a KO lineup and it missed and it distracted one of the players and they lost the round.
What
That is
was that
all
a Yoru flash? Because that's what I thought it was, but then I looked.
That was
and
a
it was...
KO molly. That
There's
was
no
that.
KO. No, I mean right now.
No. Oh, right now? Yeah, honestly, I did no idea what it was. I just saw something go, and then I saw the cage pop. And all of a sudden, tactical one way. But at the same time, you get the From the Shadows, you get the kill contract online, and like I said last round, you get the Blade Storm popping in case you have to save. But you also have now three players pushing up into mid, and Thug Hunter's actually gonna jump it.
Oh.
But doesn't matter. Immediately gets taken out by Winton. But Cyborg wins the kill contract against Interlace. Lord of the Dong gets traded out after taking out Mateo.
They're gonna hear, yeah, they heard the one player hell, and they're like, maybe there's a timing. But then they also hear the second walking away, and they're like, yeah, probably shouldn't go for that aggro peek, but still salted it. Landing at least one solid kill. The Cage used this time the spam almost good, but now Smalls responding back towards Hell. You're going to need the double swing, but you know one player's dropping from heaven. They're going to have to take the right time, and it is salting it. Just finding one more player in Hell, but Smalls will be victorious this time. The attackers find themselves within one yet again.
Yeah, absolutely, and that brings them one closer to the Rolling Thunder. It's honestly one of the most useful ultimates that I think we've ever seen, but some great shooting, coming out from both sides. Smalls able to secure the round, and this is a lot closer than a lot of people would think after seeing maybe the first or second round.
I mean, certainly. You just have to get yourselves back into it, right? You have to be able to respond, to adapt. Everything that makes a good Valorant team, we got to see it here. Because these are solid Valorant teams. They just got to prove it to us, right? Sometimes that can be a little inconsistent, and that's where you see them drop the rounds. But the B site seems to be the point of focus here for the attackers, and little do they know it is completely free.
Yeah, and because of the time that it took for them to push all the way up, it is going to be, both folks are going to be online. But there is a push coming in from the flank to Winton. Winton takes one, pops the ultimate, and gets traded out. They know the location, but just Interlace. Does Interlace wait for it? And that was unfortunately the decoy. Gets straight out. Mikester gets two. Mateo taking out Lord of the Dong. And this leaves Cyborg left in a 1v3, 1v2 now. Pops the double tap. Uses the wall.
Wait, could have stuck at half there. There's a world. But nobody was quite aware. I mean, that was risky. I'm not going to lie. But we do find ourselves in a tie game yet again, and well, that first frag was pretty important, but you have to think, shooting the clone, I honestly, I was like, that was a very real looking clone. That movement was kind of on the right line.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I
would have fell for it.
It was going pretty. I would have
fell for it.
fallen for it. I would have shot it too. But I'm also the kind of person that I could see a Yoru clone pop up in front of me and I'd still shoot it.
Yeah, that's fair. I probably would too. We are not skilled players. Yeah.
No, not even that. It's just for the fun. Just for the fun of it. Why not?
I mean, I hope these players are having fun. I would think that neither of them are having too much fun. Not to say that Valorant isn't a fun game, but it's a tie game, and you have more fun when you're absolutely blowing out the opponent. So maybe somebody's got to step it up here. Whether it's a whole team with their chemistry, whether it's a solo play. I mean, we've seen great stuff from Mikester, great util from Winton, right? Always being that whole faithful, reliable space holder. But that's what you expect out of your Cypher, and this is really, really interesting to me because you have C main. You kind of have to be expecting that hit towards B or towards A, and right now they have sort of passive holds where they're not ready to set up a trap.
Yeah, and like Execute's gonna come out very, very fast. Mateo's gonna take top site and back of site, and you know they're leaving Winton sitting in mid in a very precarious angle. You know, it's not an angle you wouldn't see many people in, but Sultanate does seem to be aware, and the Hunter's Fury is popped this early, but Sultanate gets the timing onto Winton, and this is going to be a good 4v3 retake, actually a 4v2 now, both players off site, but Malls unfortunately is not able to secure the round for their team, and that everybody is the lead back towards Shrek's Ogres to be 6-5.
Last round
I mean, that's beautifully played with that Cypher cam. I know it was maybe a minuscule piece of the round, but it all adds up in the end, right? You have that Cypher cam posted up towards teammate. You're periodically checking it to see if you still have that space, which you do. And that's a rechargeable ability. You love to see that, right? You could just pop that open. You could even take the cam down, reposition it. It's still going to be in your inventory. And now, right, once you know that site is compromised, you don't have that space anymore, do not open the cam until you retake. Otherwise, you're losing all sort of sense on where you think players could be. You lose all of your info, and now you have to invest extra.
And Smalls is actually going to get a pick, but it's the same exact thing, but there's two players this time sitting, waiting for it. Mikester takes out Lord of the Dog, but Sultanate gets both and is just gonna hunt down Mikester to get the second kill, and there is now two sitting left on site. The kill contract was popped.
One enemy remaining.
And looks like Mateo isn't gonna be able to secure the round. Sultanate gets the nice 4K as well as getting the refrag onto the pick me up.
I mean, Shrek's Ogres, this is what we kind of expected from them. Like, in my head, right, on paper, I feel like Shrek's Ogres take this. I don't know why, but it's just something about them. Maybe it's the fact that STXWTP lost 13-0 to Spate. Maybe, right? That was what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like they are supposed to have the advantage here, but we're not quite seeing it. We're seeing the moments where it should happen, and we do get to see a little flash here and there, but it's still, I'm not believing it just quite yet. I want to see these teams put on their best performance, and unfortunately, it's been a little wishy-washy here and there.
I don't quit.
Yeah, right now, I mean, the comp that the side of Shrek's Ogres is playing is a very, very fast and heavy-hitting comp. They're not going to be, they're not when they're not going to try and just contact straight through to site. They're going to hit site with everything they have, and it's going to do damage.
I mean, I have a little food for thought here, right? With ISO and Yoru here, do you think that comp is more attacker-sided or defender-sided? Because do you think they're going to be able to get 5 here? Is that going to be easy, or are they just going to take that away? But we'll have to see going into this half. The pistol, always critical. And yes, some players getting tagged up, but the bomb actually is not going down yet. It's a fake, and you leave one inserted, which should be cleared out, but then again, we think a lot of things should happen in this game, and then they don't.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of things really should happen. You know, they're leaving Thug Hunter inserted, but they're also having Cyborg sit just in case
30
they need
seconds
to
left.
try and get it out. But it looks like they're going to just go ahead and re-hit this B site. And it's going to be completely open as, you know, nobody is, like, everybody's none the wiser right now. And it seems to me that they are, you know, they're kind of confirming that it is going to
10
be
seconds
a
left.
B-site hit. But they're taking a lot of, they're putting a lot of presence towards this A-Link. And Alternate gets to Thug Hunter. Seeking Smalls, and Smalls not able to get anybody, and that is now, you know, 1v4, and a Veek finishes off Mikey, and that, you know, that's a good pistol round, and a pistol round that you really don't see often, because you don't see a lot of teams try and take that space up towards Link.
Well, not only do they not try and take Link, they also typically don't go B on pistol, and they also don't fake B with the plan of going somewhere else and then end up B. I mean, there are so many things that you would not expect there. And you would think, okay, maybe they're a little questionable considering they're going B on a round where that pistol's not going to be super, super good for spam. But they realize that. They say, okay, we're going to take that space towards A-Link. And they will be rewarded. Now you get yourself an extra credit advantage going into this next round. And well, Mikester is still alive, still has the positioning that they choose to, but now backs off here.
Mikester's gonna put a few shots through the closed smoke. Thug Hunter sees the jump, but fortunately
Careful.
isn't able to capitalize off it. Does TP out, but Mateo is in a really good spot, but only has a sheriff, so it's very limited to what they can do. But gets spotted out by a V.
Yeah, that corner's not good, but this one is, or at least should have been, but somebody must have saw that on the mini-map and somebody else cleared it. That's what it felt like. Oh my gosh, the rifle's just landing today, and the sheriff is good for one, but Mikester can only do so much. Winton gets some solid damage, but that's it. A nice try. I'll give him that, but still no round to show for it.
Yeah, you know, it is a good try, but at the same time, unfortunately, weren't able to prevail. They're just gonna throw around the sheriffs to see who gets what, and I mean, it's a great anti-eco, but now you have one player sitting there with a classic. Looks like they might actually still buy up just to make sure, but no. There's two Vandals on the field with both of the Duelist players having the Vandal, and that is honestly a really, really good play if your Duelists are good enough to hit their shots, and it seems to be that they are.
And at the end of the day, though, this is a very, very even game. Nonetheless, it was 5-5 at one point. And now you are seeing a little bit of a pull away, but still, I mean, this damage from this bonus, you have to expect it to be a decent amount, but how much really will it be? Will it be enough to take this round? I was going to say, do they accidentally kill the player while trying to shoot the trip? I mean, that was pretty dang close.
Yeah, it actually was very close. And it would have been pretty funny if it actually did happen, and Meister gets the timing onto Thug Hunter, but all of the players, now they're all regrouped back towards A main, but there are still two players sitting there. You still have Mateo, and you still have Interlace, and the dart spots Cyborg, and Interlace gets the kill.
I feel like at that point you have to commit to it. Right? The player was heaven, so that means at least one more is on site or playing close some way, shape, or form, and now you're just slowing it down. You're giving the guns, well, the longer range guns, an even bigger advantage, and now you're choosing to pivot to C where you know somebody already went down. You force them off, no positioning, and Lord of the Dong, well, will at least get one, but doesn't have enough bullets in the gun, and that will be the round.
Good shot from Mateo onto Lord of the Donk to get the kill, but they also did lose. They lost 2 rifles, but Smalls did go down, and there's not going to be anybody to buy them, so they're just going to buy up full shields, all the util they can. And their whole objective is either to stall the site as much as they can, or completely give the util to any teammate that asks for it. You know, there's no ults online just yet. They're 1 away from Mikester's ult. Pick me up will be very beneficial if they can get the orb.
Feels like these rounds have started off so slow every single time, but then you see the first pick and then everything else gets shaped differently. Winton finds it towards Garage. That's going to prompt the speed up towards A most likely, but it doesn't quite yet. An arm spotted. Mateo somehow lands. I don't even think they saw them, but still, what a shot, salvaging a situation, and this will make it much, much more doable for the defenders as they'll have the site on lock. Thug Hunter really just having to be inserted here, and this slow play has not been working out for the attackers, who I would say debatably their comp is attacker sided. You can run it down with ISO. You can take that favorable one. So by giving the opportunity for the opponents to sit in a corner and catch you off guard is kind of throwing away that whole advantage of ISO.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that that the defense hasn't really been doing, that STX WTP. Didn't we just say before that we just call him WTP?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll go back to that, but WTP, their comp is really, hit fast, but they just aren't.
Ooh, it's gonna be close. No, okay. No shock dart kill just quite yet. We'll see that in another round maybe, but a 4v3 retake, you have the breach, you have the Sova, you should be set up for success. Just wait for that Sova dart, but oh no, they didn't. And you know what that means? You're gonna have even fights, ones that the attackers will be a little bit better off in. And sure, right, the not dead yet available heal here, excuse me, but going to be used in the spam. I mean, players could choose to run away. They just have to figure out which way they want to play this. It's halved, and they're going to have to commit to something. And, oh no. Mikester will not land the bullets, and that will be an extra round. The only round so far this half for WTP was their, well, the opponent's bonus round.
Yeah, it was, their full buy. That was the only reason that they won it. But right now, not really looking too good. Winton having the neural theft online. But, you also see from the shadows, the Rolling Thunder and Dimensional Drift sitting on a line right now for Shrek's Ogres. So you can only think that they are going to be looking to do anything that they can with those ultimates.
Not gonna lie, I hate to throw not insults astray, but we'll say critiques just out there here and there. I think the players need to work on their jiggles right now, because these Sova darts have been catching so many players while they're trying to break it. They're jiggling around a wall, they get scanned, and then they get spammed through a wall. I mean, we've seen it at least 4 times today, and I really would like to see that fixed so that we can have maybe a more clean game, one that's reliant on those retakes a little bit more, because I like to see good protocols. And unfortunately, when you see somebody just get a spam kill through a Sova dart, it's kind of not as entertaining to watch.
Yeah, absolutely, right? You see the Dimensional Drift getting popped out, which is going to go into combo with the kill contract. And I believe Interlaced actually wins that with the Sheriff, but they don't expect the fact they could be all the way on to A site. And I thought Avik had just teleported into heaven.
Yeah, I thought there was a world where that happens, but I think, yeah, just less than 80 HP are both players now, so this one going to force that plant to get stalled on out. Oh, you have to go for a gamble play, but it is just hell trying to set up a crossfire. But scan, now you can get spam through the ceiling, by the way, if you didn't know. But Mateo doesn't choose to do so. Takes the timing, and Thug Hunter is clean with the first two, but it's a little whiffy towards the second. Now, Veek, one player to go. They are low, but the Sovadar scanning on through. Maybe the shot goes into the smoke. Veek will land the shots, a clutch for the round, and Shrek's Ogres, it was 5-5, but now 11-6. And what a turnaround on the side swap.
I think every Spate Skirmish that will ever be hosted will always have me asking the question of, are we allowed timeouts? And I believe the answer is always yes. But
Still gotta check on that.
right now, WTP, if they were to call a timeout, it should have been
I mean,
a round ago at least.
they're not getting blown out. No?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it doesn't work out. Salt Snake was caught out by that dart again. Mikester shot through the smoke blindly and managed to get the kill on the Thug Hunter.
Excuse me?
Me too.
What? Okay. I guess that's the game we're kind of having today, but Winton, this is a very aggressive positioning, trying to take a timing, but unfortunately nobody's going to be there quite yet. Winton with the spam and will somehow land the shot into a Veek instead. Well, that's a fun little turnaround, but either way, Cyborg now pushing back sights, and Winton, with the rifle is going to choose to wait for the teammates. But this one, a save, which is not ideal considering if your opponent wins this, they are now on map point. You're playing for OT. The Aftershock used to stall here. Mateo's going to just dash on in, probably bait for the team, but no. Decides to dash away. That's going to make this whole push a lot tougher. But has the Blade Storm, has this a little bit more doable, but it cannot be done. It is 12-6 after all, and multiplying their opponent's score by 2.
Match point.
I mean, honestly, if you were to show me none of the players, just this set, like just this team comp, I could probably tell you without a doubt in my mind that if it is played at a high enough level, it is going to be beneficial on attack entirely.
Oh,
And that's exactly what we're seeing, right? The combo of Dimensional Drift and Kill Contract just allows for you to have basically 100% accuracy on your Kill Contract.
I mean, Haven being a 3-site map is one of the most useful maps for teleports, right? The Omen from the Shadows, the Yoru, whether it's the Dimensional Drift or just the Gate Crash. Either way, those unexpected positionings can go a long way when this map is so big. Already, TPing onto site, there's going to be a retake to spam. It's not even good as Sultanate will find the first pick. That one was just towards short, and you hate to see it. This one is for your map and tournament life, and well, it doesn't start off too well, and it continues to be a little bit on the bubble. 3 players remaining. The Aftershock yet again to stall out this retake. Winton going in with the flashes, but flashed right on back. The swing's on through, and it stalls even more. Mikester has done it before, but can they do it again? Gets dinged up once. The Guardian good for 2, but that will be it. Sultanate with a massive round, and Shrek's Ogres, they will take this one 13-6.
That was such a nice shot from Mikester at the end. Not only were they, I'm pretty sure, fully blind when they took the shot, but just overall, the shots through the smokes, making sure that rounds are close even when it shouldn't be. And honestly, a well thought out game from both teams nonetheless.
Looking at the scoreboard here, it feels like, okay, the 6 rounds that this WTP side got kind of correlates a little bit with the 6 first bloods that Winton got on their attacking side, right? They were lurking, they were trying to make that space, and every time they did have enough space, they kept the enemy guessing and had to make them spread out their defenses. You saw them win the round, and they needed to replicate that more, but obviously there's only so much you can do with lurk plays. You're gonna finally start to expect them, and unfortunately, yes, was expected. 13-6 the score line, and honestly, that's kind of exactly what I expected in terms of a scoreline. Maybe WTP getting a few more rounds, but I did expect Shrek's Ogres to win this, and they proved me right. We'll see if they can prove us next round.
Yeah. Should have hopefully, when some of these matches decide to finish up, we should have another match coming. And I say hopefully shortly, but it is Valorant, right? These games can go on for a while. So, I mean, I don't have a lot much more to talk about. I mean, interlaced 5 first bloods, or not 5 first bloods, 5 plants. Sorry, and being a really good, basically wingman was how I was gonna put it, because that's wingman's job. Plant the bomb, clear the corners, and Lord of the Dong though I had 11 assists. So I don't have a lot much more to talk about. Do you have anything else to add?
I mean, no, we are just waiting on the results from Mickey Masters and Omnipotence, as well as Please NA and UFO Minions. So that'll be our next matchup. We'll see Shrek's Ogres if they make it to the grand finals. They're going to be going up against Akatsuki Amers and Cal Blue. So that should, of course, be a fun one to watch. But fortunately, we won't get to see it. We'll see you guys after the break when we come back for some more Spate Skirmish 3. We'll see you then.
A bit.
Outside, I will always be the one that's right here, standing by your side. Open up your heart and let me in. I promise not to break you. I promise I'll be all that you want. So let me in my heart before. Let me in. Oh, your love explodes. Our hearts implodes. Your love explodes. Our hearts implode. up. Ganja smoking, me got rum in me cup. Bad gals wind up on the dance floor. All the gals wind up on the dance floor. Waste Right here, standing by your side. Open up your heart and let me in. I promise not to break you. I promise I'll be all that you want. So let me in my heart before. Let me in. Oh, your love explodes. Our heart implodes. Your love explodes. Our hearts implode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome on back. Yeah, you know how it is. We get a little bit of a break here and there, but we are finally back. My name is Aricast here with Zarek as usual, and today we have the results on in. It's Mickey Masters versus UFO Minions, and I gotta say, already before we start, the ranks are looking a little high in one direction compared to the other. That's all I'll say.
We have, I actually believe that this is the side of, it is the side of UFO Minions, I believe. That the majority of their team is entirely Radiant.
No, they're the Ascendant one.
Are they the Ascendant?
Yeah.
I know.
Mickey Masters are the Radiants.
Is it Mickey Masters?
Yeah.
Listen, everybody,
It's been a long day.
It's been a long day. But yeah, Mickey Masters is the entire, the entire Radiant team. But not only that, but we've seen how they play. We know exactly what they're gonna do, right? We know they're gonna come out strong.
Yeah, For context, one team entirely Radiant except for one player. The other team, I believe, entirely Ascendant. So, best of luck. But hey, I mean, they made it this far for a reason if you're UFO Minions. So, whip out something we're not expecting. Blow this game out of the water. Honestly, I'd be happy if they get 6 here. Like, I hate to be that person, but take it one round at a time here.
Yeah, I mean, it really, it really isn't gonna look too hot for UFO Minions
On paper.
because on paper, right? But at the same time, I've seen Sizen combat, no names and on stage. I've seen them all play individually and even sometimes together, and I know that they're good, but at the same time, you have the double duelist comp coming from Random Schmuck and Antmo running the RR combo that I like to call them because it's Raisin Reina. And they are just, they're really good at what they do because they know how to get into sight and they know that their job is to either get one or get information.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about things that maybe aren't statistics on paper, we can still talk about things we saw in previous weeks. And that was, well, last time we saw this team play on Bind, that is the Mickey Masters team, they 13-0'd someone. So if you don't want to believe statistics, you can certainly look back in previous VODs and realize that they are certainly a team to be feared here. But hey, it's anybody's game, right? Just pull it on through, right? Have fun, and maybe the vibes will carry you through. Well, at least the pistol round is, I guess, your best bet to get off to an early lead.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the pistol's obviously, not only is it the best place to start, but it's kind of the first place that you have.
The only place.
Start. I mean, yeah, the only place indeed. You see the default smokes coming in. Antmo running in and jumping classic gets the kill. Tobito as well takes out 2. Just a classic. I wish my classic would hit like that,
no.
but Tobito gets caught.
Yeah.
Doesn't get the kill, but Random Schmuck is knifing people.
How did
Where did
Random
Random
Schmuck
Schmuck come from?
Yeah, that's what I don't quite know. I'm trying to look back in the replay, but maybe it was short. That's my only guess because they came from an angle that was deeper than the teleport was. So yeah, I guess the pistol's chalked up. But honestly, if I'm UFO Minions, I kind of want to realize, okay, we know this team is better than us on paper. I think we should try and catch them off guard with crazy strats and crazy buys here. I mean, right now, if they go for a force-up, I think they're going to have a solid chance.
Yeah, and all 5 players from Sizen start capturing them, but fortunately, Sizen gets taken out with the paint shells from Antmo. Cristiano Ronaldo, you know, sitting there, unfortunately not able to do anything. Combat stuck between a wall, and Random Schmuck just gets the kill, and that right there is your bonus round, and that is also in favor of Mickey Masters.
All right, here's the big test. The chance to silence us, silence our yapping, and prove us wrong, right? You're on your full buy. You have guns. The opponent's on weaker guns. It should be around you secure. AKA, well, not AKA, but should. Keyword should. Good luck. That's all I have to say. Best of luck. UFO minions, show us what you got.
You know, I think we saw that there was going to be a lineup coming through. Sovadart does come through the TP, but fortunately Raze does get taken off the angle, but Random Schmuck pushes right through and takes out onstage, takes out Cristiano Ronaldo, and is looking to potentially get one more up towards heaven. Combat does get spotted out, and Random Schmuck right now has the 3K as No Name takes out Obito. Random Schmuck gets 4, and does Random Schmuck get the ace? Unfortunately not. No Names does have the 3K now, and I would say a pretty favorable matchup right now until Eugene decided to heal up Deadlock.
Yeah, and they're playing back towards short. I mean, this feels chalked, but hey, maybe not for the moment. No Names at least with 4 solid kills, proving that the M is there. But, I mean, when you get down that far in terms of numbers, it's tough to come back from, and they will not strike here. So the bonus conversion for Mickey Masters, yeah, this is going to be a tough one. We knew that. But already it proves to hold true, even in just these first few rounds. UFO minions, I do have to say, though, their utility looked fine, right, to stall the initial push. It's just that when on stage, got a little flustered, right, towards that A bath area, head went on a swivel, and then the head fell off, right? So maybe you look to just play a little bit more util heavy as opposed to gunplay heavy.
Yeah, you know, the Empress does get popped by Random Schmuck. The Annihilation is, however, online for No Names, but Random Schmuck is getting just caught in the middle of nowhere. But Ammo somehow manages to take out Sizen, but another trade with the paint shells is going to come out, and Eugene hops right through the TP because A-Site's wide open.
Oh, they don't clear this. There's no chance. Oh, they do. That's a great read. I mean, knowing that a player has been inserted there, Antmo can't quite land the shots and does buy time for Cristiano Ronaldo to push on through, but that time being burned down with that lurk inserted over towards the B site. Obito now going to stall it out even longer, or at least trying to fake it out with the Molly. Now choose to do so. The Incendiary just barely not shipping anyone away. But challenging this fight is ridiculous, and also so is getting one. I mean, they're trying to get fancy with it, and it will be punished, but Smarty, Eugene, everybody's there. No sweat even invested. It's just 4 straight rounds.
Yeah, you know, the Annihilation's still online for No Names. You know, probably not one of the best rounds to try and use it for, especially considering not only how fast a lot of people died, but just really just how quickly. But at the same time, right? The Annihilation online for Smarty, it's just a matter of time of when it gets used.
Launching smoke.
You have to use it at some point, otherwise that value will start to decay. You want to be efficient as possible. But honestly, for UFO minions, you might want to just have that all in play, sort of, but barely dodging the Annihilation. Nice little movement, but unfortunately still forced off the site, and that will allow for the bomb to go through the teleporter? Okay. I mean, they're aware that one player is towards Garden. The net doesn't land, and nor do the shots, though, for Sizen. That's just going to be Antmo once again claiming their victims, and now pinching towards the spawn. It feels like the attackers do not care where these defenders are holding. They're going to swing them anyway. Random Schmuck wrapping around. No, don't make this 2 knife kills. Okay. At least no knife kill, but still clean round yet again from Mickey Masters.
Honestly, it might be. It feels like deja vu for me, because I feel like I've said it before, but their comp is built for attack. But yet again, we've seen them play defense side on this map before. We've seen that they're able to. Well, I think we've seen one round where they were where they were just completely dominant. Is it a pistol? Yes. But it still seems like they're playing smart and they're playing actual proper Valorant.
I mean, this team might just be on a different level, but already satcheling on in, showstopper, and although the net does come through, a little bit of a team utility bonding there, but still sight gain yet again, and you can't play retake with pistols. It's just not going to work out in your favor. They're certainly going to try here, but Smarty is going to have a free spray down the dink, cancels the drone, everyone's stuck, and Smarty, yeah, you're going to run away for now, but if anybody knows how Smarty plays, it's just that I want to just keep swinging, and that will be the case, Antmo, with the judge to take first contact. And No Names, although good for one, who can't find themselves one in terms of rounds on the board. It's 6 straight.
I mean, it is really, really shocking that we see this. But again, that timeout needed to be called 2 rounds. There needed to be a moment where they had to at least have some hope of trying to break their momentum. But right now, it's literally they just keep, they keep trying the same thing and it's not working. They need to talk now and figure out what is going wrong and how fast they need to fix it, because they only have, 6 more rounds in this half?
Well, I mean, they are a quarter of the way through the game, half of the half, if you will, but still, you're kind of fighting into the unknown. It's like, yeah, well, if they can do it, so can we, but you've yet to prove that you can even do it once. So that is kind of a tough thing to look at. You do have the ults. You can feel free to dump. I don't want to see it on a retake, though. I want to see them play off of some deadlock utility, set up a trap play, because that's going to be your best bet at stopping any sort of tunnel visioning from all of the team onto one person, right? Because if it's a 4v1 over and over and over again, the 4 is typically going to win that. You got to make your numbers advantage useful, as well as all of the util that you have.
That dart gonna spot out a few players. The trip is going to catch someone in towards heaven, but random schmuck is just so aware of the flank. They're just gonna get the kill. Sizen takes out Smarty, but Eugene is able to pick up a few more kills. That leaves both players, sitting in the flank, trying to make something happen, and fortunately, it really doesn't look like something is going to happen. But right as I say that, Combat takes out random schmuck.
Nice little shot there, but you're going to need a few more to follow it up. Combat using the mosh pit, and on stage, hold up, making this one doable. It's just down to Tobito with the Sheriff. And the Wingman, it's not going to be used onto the bomb, and that's going to make it ever so much more doable. They don't spot him, but it's still good enough. The reflexes are beautiful from on stage, and a hero round to at least prove that they can do it once. Now just keep on doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that timeout it wasn't futile. They actually talked about something. Well, I hope they talked about something, but they must have said something that decided to wake the rest of the team up, and they actually started playing together. But same time, the economy of Mickey Masters is absolutely inflated from previous rounds, so it's just not looking too hot economy wise right now. But the ult spots out a bunch of players. Sizen does pop the Hunter's Fury, but I don't think they get anybody with it. Obito takes out on stage. Cristiano Ronaldo gets one with the showstopper, but Schmuck gets the trade out. Sizen gets one back. It is a 3v3 No Names didn't have that favorable of HP, but didn't get there with the judge. Decides to shoot the body a little bit, but not looking too hot right now for Mickey Masters.
Not quite, yeah, especially now that Eugene goes down and hold up. We might have ourselves a game. That timeout doing absolute bits. But now, this one, it feels doable. Yes, there is a little bit of disrespect. I'm not going to deny that. Mickey Masters are kind of just swinging here and there, not playing the most diligent Valorant, shall we say. But, yeah, they're getting themselves out to a numbers advantage, at least in round number 7. And here, they don't even get themselves in a good spot. So certainly, UFO Minions doing a great job of adapting here, recognizing what they're a little bit weaker on.
Bison was looking for the dart, but unfortunately wasn't able to get it. It is broken before anyone can get spotted, but Antmo, you know, not having very favorable HP. Sizen takes out random schmuck, and I believe that sent the body to the TP. Sizen gets 2, gets 3, gets 4! And Sizen is looking for the ace, but doesn't get it, and is shut down by Smarty. That was a round.
What have you done with UFO Minions? What did you do in that timeout that has turned on the aim, turned on the brain? I mean, this is obviously the best turnaround you could hope for out of a timeout. I mean, from having 0 rounds to now winning the 3 straight, forcing your opponents on what is a broken force buy. I mean, it's something, but not certainly comfortable. And honestly, you're going to make Mickey Masters start to feel the pressure just a tad more. And that's already a victory. Let's see if you can combine it more. Sizen already with the Hunter's Fury finding 2. And just like that, I mean, this game could be within 2 rounds.
Sizen went from getting a 4K at the end of the last round to just not even darting. Just randomly decided to pop the ult and immediately gets to with the Hunter's Fury. Well, is gonna reveal Eugene, but Eugene knows on stage is right there.
Yeah, positioning noted from all 3 players. I believe that deadlock just in case the teleport does come through. But Brain Blind, it's not going to be used for super much of the entry, as Antmo will already get traded down. And sure, Eugene, good for 1 kill, but gonna need more than that, especially now as you're leaving random schmuck in a 1v3. And sure, yes, they are capable of doing it. We've seen them pull the impossible before, but okay, emptying some bullets into the wall, just making sure that there's no additional dizzies to keep on going. And it seems like the misorientation is done now. Random schmuck, time running low. Deadlock anchoring towards B. It feels like this round is over, and it will be off the back of some nice shots from Cristiano Ronaldo. A nice jiggle. And yes, indeed, this game brought right on back from UFO Minions.
See, there must have been something going on between these 2 teams that was like, all right, we win 6 in a row, and then you win 6 in a row. Because at this point, that's what it's looking like it's going to be. It's looking like it's going to be a very, very even 6-6 half. But at the same time, right, Antmo has the showstopper, Smarty with the Annihilation, and Eugene with the Seekers. But Onstage does have the Brimstone Orbital Strike that can stop a lot of things.
On the bright side, right, you are seeing those trap plays start to come through, which is honestly my personal key to when you can't quite withstand anything from an execute. You try and play off of contact, and right now Combat takes the initial contact to the face. Not going to be super well for your health. And No Name's just spamming with the Odin. I mean, certainly a play to make here, but now netted. The Orbital Strike is good for the kill. And Onstage is boxed like a fish. This one not going to go super well for you. Stunned by the sensor and can't quite see. Spamming on through. It's very scrappy, and somehow the battle does go the way of Mickey Masters. I mean, Sizen doesn't even spot the player. Thinks it's the molly, but instead the swing comes out from the back of elbow. And finally, Mickey Masters can get themselves one after 4 straight go to UFO minions.
I don't know if Sizen didn't spot them or if Sizen had potentially a malfunction with their mice, because not only were they not even aiming towards the player that was swinging out towards elbow, but they weren't even moving back and forth trying to counter strafe, making sure they're on their toes. It was just, they kind of just froze.
That's not good. I mean, you don't want to see that. Oh my. I mean, that's certainly a wild card that you haven't expected yet. And No Names, I mean, does get taken down here with the operator, and they're going to let them die. This is a crazy play, because now Combat is going to have the trigger discipline, doesn't shoot the body of the teammate, gets the kill and stays alive, makes sure that this retake is that much more doable. But now, maybe not quite aware of how many players are so close to them. The spam is good, and a 2v2 when it's all said and done. Combat, unfortunately, misplaces the wingman, but the drone should still scan out at least a few players. The Dizzy used, but oh boy, Eugene clean with it, and it will be an 8-4 half. It seemed like UFO minions had a breath of life, but that's all they're gonna get.
And I mean, you know, 8-4 half, it's still very winnable, right? There are still so many different things that you can do from it, but at the same time, momentum is an issue, as well as just, pure talent, pure skill. But I mean, who knows what UFO minions could potentially be cooking in their call.
Mickey Masters are just that team, it feels like to be. I don't even know how they didn't even win a week. Like, let's be real. How have they not placed, top 1 every single time? But here, I mean, trying to make that case of why they should be champions, I believe, yet again, as they did have a few victories last week. Now Random Schmucks is actually going to be full blinded, and this is a great play from the attackers here. The default going strong, giving them the numbers, and, well, that's going to prove to be very, very costly. You're going to have to spread out thin, and all these attackers can just reposition to wherever they want.
Yeah, and right now, Antmo, not very comfortable HP, but is still, sitting on the site, potentially able to deny the plant. And, people trying to type in the middle of the game, but that is not, not what we want to do. Antmo potentially could have a timing on stage right here if swinging through the smoke is what they're going to do. But unfortunately, does not seem like that right now.
I mean, this is a pistol round retake if I've ever seen one. You gotta face check every single angle, and it just sucks. You kind of have to bait your person with the most HP. That usually being Arena to try and heal it back on up. And, well, Random Schmuck good for 1. Spots out the second, but they're going to need to speed it up. The time running a little bit lower, and Smarty is now going to be the one that has to land the miracle. And there's just not enough time. That's it. When it's all said and done, Combat will escape. Okay, I had to make sure. And that is a pistol round going the way of UFO minions.
Yeah, and honestly, pretty good round. Pretty good round, and a round that they needed. Because now they're looking into going into an anti-eco. But I guess what they can't see right now is the entirety of Mickey Masters has just forced up. Well, a majority of Mickey Masters right now has forced up, and it's going to be a challenge. If they can keep the distance between these fights very short, then it is going to be very beneficial for them. Smarty does get spotted by Sizen, but fortunately no shots are going to come from it. Cristiano Ronaldo takes out Tobito through the TP, or actually in the middle of the TP.
I mean, this is just proving that Mickey Masters are a little bit too quick to jump to the gun. I mean, you're seeing them just slam through the TP by themselves. That's your smokes gone. That's additional pieces of utility gone, whether it's the incendiary or the combat stim. And And then it all just comes down to now having to rely on those players on site who don't seem to be finding any sort of luck. It's just Smarty now playing an elbow, and although they have been crazy before, I think this is going to be a whole new level of delusion you're going to need to really put some stats on the board. Smarty with 1, Smarty with 2, but that's all for you. And now just random schmuck, 3 HP, a stinger to their name. And it feels like this one is inevitable, the result that we will see.
Yeah, and just like you said, it is inevitable. Cristiano Ronaldo takes out random schmuck, but because they forced up that round, you know, they don't have any money. They don't have any money left over. They don't have that moolah to buy any of the guns, but you know, they're all players. All players on that team are really talented when using a sheriff. So, I mean, who knows what could happen during this round?
I'm calling it now. If UFO minions bring this game to 8-8, they're winning. I mean,
Honestly, yeah.
like, can we be real? This game shouldn't be this close. It really shouldn't. I mean, I hate to say it, but that's the truth, at least in terms of rank. So, Mickey Masters, they got to step it up here. They're playing a little bit wonky and not quite the way we expect them to. Not as diligent as before, and maybe these are the gaps we're seeing with the roster that need to be adjusted.
Yeah, right now, No Name's taking a few shots through the smokes. Random Schmuck has crept all the way up through short, so they really should know by now. If they haven't slammed TP and there was presence towards that B site, that they haven't decided to push back towards short yet. And with the dart, it kind of does confirm, you know, all of the suspicions they had that they're just going to decide to run it back towards B.
Yeah, but that's a lot of utility that you see, right? A brim smoke in response, a deadlock sensor, and now at least a pause call is going to be great. Because what happens, Mickey Masters, they're not quite pushing that advantage on the A. They have all of the space, so you really should be still stacking towards this B site. And this is a very, very big blunder. You're not quite realizing what is happening in the correct moments, but a slam of the TP will make it that much more doable. Tobito can't quite land the shots, and No Names will claim yet another victim. The swing of backside, it's 3 players, and when it's all said and done, it will just be 1 remaining towards Bath. Make that 0 as Eugene finds 1 through the wall. I believe this is an eco round win, and what a way to get yourselves right back in this game, Mickey Masters.
Yeah, and honestly, something they really needed. They couldn't afford it to have gotten bonus round. Not only, well, it's weird, right? Because they forced up.
Yeah,
But it's still an anti-eco round. Technically, they just got. I have to say they just got owned, but I don't know how to make that any more nicer than I can. But no, like a really big props to them. They're doing what they need to, and they're doing it well. You've got the Annihilation already online for Smarty, but you also have the Thrash online for Combat. So they could be looking to take space up towards Showers with it. And just as I say that, looks like they're going to run it down towards Showers. Unfortunately, nobody is going to get caught out with the Thrash. Tobito takes out No Names. And that right there, that is the first blood, and that is a massive blood too, because that's their flank control.
I mean, yeah, flank control, but it is deadlock. It is kind of that weird one that honestly works better post-plant. But, alright, as we say that on stage, finds 1 towards short. Not quite expecting 2. Tobito has to, well, snipe with the shotgun in combat is good for 1, but it does just end up with Sizen. And I don't know, sizing up that competition, my friend, it doesn't look too good for you. Especially when one of those players is random schmuck, and they're going 16-8 right now. You might just want to make the call to save, especially looking at your team's credits. There's absolutely nothing for you. You could maybe get your ultimate online, but if you got no guns, that's still going to be tough to convert anyway.
30 seconds left.
And Sizen not only, you know, maybe can't take it as slow, but also has to worry about the trip the second that they walk out of showers. So really, it's right there. That trip gets popped. This player is, you know, just going to stay smart and hold. And Smarty gets the nice 3K onto Sizen being the last pick. And that is, you know, 10 to 6 right now for Mickey Masters. But for me, would it have been great? Yeah, if we saw them get 8 before they had to call this timeout. But at the same time, this timeout, let's run it back. What happened last time they called the timeout?
They won 4 straight.
Oh, you know, honestly, they
They
could do it again.
They're trying to.
They
tie
could
the
do it
game up.
again. Exactly, right? There really isn't much to talk about in a timeout like this because, you know, they already know how Mickey Masters plays it because, you know, they've already played an entire half. They've seen that they're pretty aggressive on the attack half, so that can only mean that they're going to play really passive. They're not going to go super, you know, hunting everything kind of mode. They're going to hold their angles, and they're going to hold them well.
I mean, I think with Mickey Masters, if it comes to you let them play the aim game, they're gonna win. These players are cracked, so you gotta find some way to catch somebody off guard, manipulate rotates, and UFO minions seem to be struggling to do that ever since pistol round when they could just kind of run it down, slam a TP here or there. Right now, I want to see them get aggressive towards the early rounds, then pause or rotate immediately. I want them to have intention with their pace, and right now it seems pretty solid, but the slam of the TP is not going to go super well for them, and not catching the rays on the way out. Atmo still gets out with their life, and that is massive. That is not an equalizer for the attackers, and oh boy, this is going to be rough. Smarty will land one more, and Atmo, sure, will get out with an extra one, a bonus. A little bit of an extra fun one, but the Stinger still proving to be at least somewhat doable. Has to turn the flash, and well, that's going to allow for Atmo to shoot the bullets once again. 11-6 now the scoreline, and the magic timeout that happened in the first half doesn't seem to be working this time around.
Yeah, unfortunately not for, you know, it is unfortunate that the timeout didn't work, but at the same time, you know, like we said before, it's been a long day. And, you know, it's all still really good valor, and it looks like the showstopper will get popped. Cristiano Ronaldo takes out Eugene, but Atmo is unfortunately not even gonna pop the showstopper, and it looks like Onstage gets caught out with the annihilation, and random schmuck
Wait,
is just absolutely wiping the lobby, and it looks like Atmo wanted to get the knife kill, but unfortunately didn't, and it looks like the bodies are gonna get sprayed, and this is match point for Mickey Masters.
oh boy. I mean, they're gonna say that he said, she said. Who started it? You did. No, you did. I mean, it's all in good fun, right?
I did.
UFO minions, they know how they stack up, so they're trying to do as much damage as they can, if you will. If maybe they can't do it in terms of the eco and the rounds for their own matchup, they're still trying to mentally fatigue Mickey Masters, play that spoiler, try and take as many off them as they can. But the game ain't over yet, right? They still got almost 6 rounds straight. It was 6 out of 8 rounds that they had converted in. Now you're looking to get maybe an additional 6 here. This one, though, I mean, look at the A pressure. It's just that default pressure, right? The smoke, the paint shell, everything kind of just getting lobbed in through A, and, well, that's a very ambitious orbital strike, and that will not find any value.
Yeah, and honestly, right now, the entirety of Mickey Masters knows time is on their side. Tobido accidentally drops, does take a bit of damage, and fortunately, you know, not able to get the kill or get killed, and doesn't get caught by the annihilation, but is able to hide inside their smoke to make sure that they don't get caught out. But Eugene is sitting alone on this site, and they hear the TP. Tobito gets 2. Schmuck takes out Cristiano Ronaldo. It is now just No Names and Sizen in a 1v5. Sorry, 1v4 as Sizen takes out Tobito. Schmuck getting ready to swing. No Names takes 1, but random Schmuck just isn't shooting. And that right there, Mickey Masters will take it 13-6, and that is one game. That's one game. That's one game right there.
I mean, say what you will. This had the same scoreline as the previous game we saw on stream. So, do with that information what you will. I mean, you gotta be happy about a top 4 placement, right? You're still getting tracked on the sheets on the esports Wikipedia, the Liquipedia, if you will. And hey, that's something for you. Working towards getting your team up there and notable, but no cash prize for you today. Random Schmuck, Smarty, Tobito, Antmo, and Eugene. You guys have secured at least 2nd place, which means you do have an extra chunk of change you're going home with today. However, you're going to have one more opponent to face in the grand finals. We are just waiting for that result. And hold up, let me check on who it could be.
It is actually going
Shrek's
to
Ogres
actually be
for Cal Blue.
Yeah. And honestly, you know, shock to me, because before in the previous, you know, brackets, we saw Cal Blue. Well, we didn't see Cal Blue, but in the bracket, Cal Blue actually went out, I believe, 1st round. And I'm assuming they either had roster changes or they just reworked some of their strategies. But right now, you know, they're sitting in the semifinals against Shrek's Ogres, and it could be them, but it could be Shrek's Ogres. But one quick thing I wanted to take a look at was Tobito on, on Mickey Masters, 4 first blood as your smokes player.
Well,
I don't know why your smokes player. Yeah, like, and don't get me wrong, the smokes player being able to get first blood.
well, I know where those
really-
happened. They happened in
think
short. They smoked it, and they sat on top of the box, and then they used the judge and just locked it down. I mean, hey, whatever you got to do to condition the other team to say, hey, respect my smokes, please, and thank you. Don't ever walk into them without utility. Something that you do need to establish in kind of a play style like this, or a tournament like this, where you may or may not have faced these teams before that you're going looking across at. You do need to show them, hey, this is what we're known for. Don't mess up. Otherwise, if you mess with the wrong players, you're gonna get shot in the face.
Yeah, and honestly, it was, you know, a majority of the fights that they took weren't even, you know, based off util. It was solely just, you know, who can aim a lot better than the other. But I believe, you know, if you don't have anything left to say, and I don't think I have anything left to say, we're gonna hop to a quick break. Let the Shrek's Ogres versus Cal Blue game finish out. We'll get the map. We'll get at least our knowledge of the map picking bands. And then hopefully, you know, we'll hop right into that series and see who can be crowned the winner of the 3rd Spate Skirmish.
Yeah. Well, we'll see you guys right after this break.
gotta have it. I call the rappers ass bouncing, cause all these carrots. Open up your heart and let me in. I promise not to break you. I promise I'll be all that you want. So let me in my heart before. Let me in. Oh, your love explodes our hearts and blows. Your love explodes our hearts and blows.
Ganja smoking, me got rum in me cup. Bad gals wind up on the dance floor. All the gals wind up on the dance floor.
Hello, everyone. Welcome on back to the grand finals of Spate Skirmish number 3, and we're changing things up a little bit today. So instead of having the game end super late or early, depending on how you look at it in terms of time zones, we're, instead of doing a best of 3, going to be doing a best of 1. So it's all in one map, and that map is Ascent.
I mean, to me, right, Ascent has had some changes in its meta, but, you know, it's usually been a Chaos Sova initiator dominant map. But, you know, a lot of the times, you know, some teams have been throwing in a little bit of a clove, you know, maybe even throwing in, like, I don't know, maybe a deadlock.
Yeah, no, definitely. I believe that Mickey Masters do play Deadlock on Ascent, so I think that's like a 90% chance we're going to see that.
I mean, we say 90% chance on paper, right? They should pick that, but remember what, you know, what do we always think on paper? Sometimes it's just not it. But Antmo gonna be, you know, taking that controller, going on to Omen, but we do see Goat going to be playing that Deadlock, but that's, you know, a double duelist. Or not double duelist, a double Sentinel comp. They're gonna have, you know, both sites pretty on lock, and, you know, actually both teams are going to have the same matchup. And I mean, you know, a lot of the times when we look at mirror matchups, is it comes down to who has better executes, but with Mickey Masters, it might just come down to who can aim better.
Well, I mean, here's the other thing too. With both teams running Deadlock, it doesn't really become who has the better executes, because so what? You can execute. Yeah, you can't. There's a Deadlock sensor. Good luck. Like, those are the things that these teams are going to have to realize. And so I think this map is going to then favor the defenders, or just, you know, whatever team is on the defending side, because both teams have that double sentinel, because not as many flashes are in the picture. That's why defense is going to be a bit easier. Granted, of course, say it with me now, folks, on paper.
Yeah, exactly. And that's having a bit of trouble getting the proper camera placement, but hopefully, yeah, it looks like they got it right this time. Tobito has a camera to watch out towards that tree area, but, you know, some mid presence is shown with the Sova Dart, but it looks like they're taking a lot of heavy space all the way through towards to B main, but they are caught by this trip, and looks like Army is just gonna be sitting there waiting, and Dasta takes one, but Antmo gets the trade back, and Army gets one while swinging back into the smoke, and TP's out to cover.
That is beautiful. Just stuck barely in a position to make a play. Granted, they could have TP'd past as well, but you would have seen Mickey Masters react in some way, shape, or form. Tobito with the Furia Classic, gonna find the same fate as Furia, only getting one, now finding two, though. And it is just down to Kimchi, who, just that round, it should have went to Mickey Masters, but they managed to bring it on through.
Yeah, honestly, and I mean, that's one of the rounds, right, where it's a lot closer than, you know, the last few pistol rounds have been. You know, we see a lot of the pistol rounds where sometimes, you know, it's a flawless, or maybe you still have 3, 4 alive, but right here, they only had 2 alive, and, you know, both were very low HP nonetheless.
Yeah, and you know, just a little out of tournament statistic. Well, Kimchi goes down, but this was a full bracket today. All 32 teams slots filled, and well, that's gonna prove for a very solid competition all the way through. Eugene getting in on the action, as well as Tobitsu, and welcome to an anti-eco round where typically the guns with bigger pew-pews are gonna win.
Yeah, usually, you know, that is Ace Dadston sitting in this corner, waiting, and random schmuck's gonna get the kill while Tobito, you know, baits for it, but Goat is going to pick off Tobito, and they're going to be pushing up a lot faster, and unfortunately not able to pick off another one as Eugene takes them out with their Guardian, and that's, you know, that's round 2. That is their anti-eco.
You know what's really funny to me? You throw a Cloudburst on the ground, and then put yourself in the defender's shoes there real quick. You're not expecting 3 players, one to go out to the left, one upwards, and the other just standing still. Who do you shoot? You can't react fast enough, so...
Them all.
Yeah. NT. I mean, they can't even line up. Who do you mean, all of them?
Absolutely. It's really a situation where they can't even line up. It's impossible for you to shoot them all, and unfortunately, you know, Kimchi taking quite a bit of damage just through the random wall bangs, and you know, Army hears them all rotating off, and that wall stood no chance. That wall went down in seconds.
Yeah, Goat here. Trying to just make do, but unfortunately Smarty is the one to find the first blood in this round. And additional shots over towards Cat here, but this bomb is down, right? It's a 4v4, and now you kind of get to go into your post plant setup. There's so many ways to now win this for the attackers. You could just have Tobito play that time. You can have some hero plays from the players on site. You can have Eugene go out to Cat. I mean, there's spam even from hell here. Tobito chooses a timing and will get one, but is going to peek and go down earlier. And, well, Kimchi just going to have to save the gun here, or at least reposition before inevitably saving, I would hope.
Yeah,
He's got out of the way
it
of the bomb.
has, it has to be a save, right? There's no way you let yourself go down with a gun like this, but, you know, I was gonna say, if one of those players potentially decided to swing mid at a opportune moment, there could have been a potential for a nice trade even. But right there, you know, Army was able to afford a Vandal as well as some light shields, but rest of them not able to do so. And the entirety of Mickey Masters sitting on rifles with 1 Phantom.
Yes, this should do.
1 Phantom is gonna have to be enough, or 1 Vandal. Oh, wait, yeah, 1 Phantom for the attackers, but 1 Vandal for the defenders. And oh boy, random schmuck, how are you still alive? I mean, the spam doesn't. Okay, I was gonna say doesn't find you, but then it does, but then it doesn't, but then Atmo's there with a shorty, and now there's a deadlock wall in mid that's just leaving a small little gap. Goat will fall again, and now 4v2. Now we start to see everything shake up how it should be. This is just going to be an attempt to do some damage, and we all know it's not going to go the greatest here, especially now as Oni's tagged up and pre-fired around the corner. Kimchi will eventually fall here, whether it's to the swing from Eugene or the lurk coming through mid, and it is Eugene after all. 4-zip is the score.
We are strong because we are
And,
together. Don't forget.
you know, Oni was really looking forward to saving enough money to get that operator. But at the same time, you know, Dadston has the neural theft online, right? That's great. We also have the Neural Theft online for Tobito, as well as From the Shadows from Antmo, and the Annihilation from Smarty. So, you know, if they know where this Cypher likes to play on this setup, it is just easy enough to throw the Annihilation and snag them out, and that's the Cypher setup onto that A site completely gone.
I mean, no KO to quite nullify anything, but still Sova shock darts to break those strips. Antmo will go down, being a little ambitious, but ooh, Oni with a nice shot. That one not quite through the smoke. If there was a dash on out, something of that sort, but Random Schmuck now the only one remaining, and a very tall task ahead of them. 1v3 is what is needed, and oh boy, player spot out and goes down to the shock dart NT, but it will be now the first for Cal Blue.
And, you know, Datsun really putting in work trying to get through that deadlock wall. Almost said KJ wall for a minute. It's been a very long day.
New patch? New patch, KJ
New
wall?
patch, KJ gets a wall. If KJ combined with Sage, could you imagine?
The
That would be
turret's just like a wall.
Uh-huh.
It's a wall that shoots.
It's just a wall of vandals.
Oh god. This isn't the Cypher Cam bug again.
That bug was great though.
But it is in the past right now, just as Goat's life is as well. Random Schmuck finding one already, but taken right back down. Sure, there is a trade, but Goat from the grave will pick up Smarty with the Annihilation being activated previously. Antmo cleaning up an extra and now just leaving it down to Kimchi, who has saved before. You wouldn't think this one's going to be saved just quite yet. And the lurk will come on through. The bait fire was perfect from sight, and Tobito cashes on in. Make that a 4-round deficit yet again.
And not only is, you know, 4-round deficit, it's also more economy for Mickey Masters for them to just potentially snowball the rest of this round and not have to worry. But it might be, you know, Oni might be trying to save again for the op, but definitely should be using the Blade Storm, and it might be a really, really good time to use it, especially if they're all gonna peek here.
Certainly. Oh my gosh, Oni's just going in there like swimwear, but will not find any sort of picks. Just the classic now to their name, and Random Schmuck is out, and so is everybody else for the defense falling on down. Now just 2 players remaining, and well, you've got to judge. You're not really going to swing out of here unless you absolutely have to, just for funsies. So this is playing for exits if I've ever seen it, and now has an Odin, but unfortunately pinched nonetheless. 6-1, and we could be getting the passports out and heading over to Brazil.
Their death demands our attention.
Yeah, absolutely, but, you know, I have to tell you that Oni just bought another operator.
Wait.
And with what I just saw from those knives, I'm not having a lot of hope on this one.
Hey, but an operator is very different from a blade storm, no?
Different
So-
sensitivity, actually.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta believe, right? You gotta put some respect on their name. The spam comes on through, but wait, there's 2 picks through that smoke? That is... Oh no, there was one towards B, one towards A. Okay, that makes a little more sense, but still, look how the bomb is completely out on the B site. What is happening on this B site? The bomb is down. There's 2 players lurking through A. You just have to stall as long as you can, and that's just it. The round's over. I mean, now it's just about damage, and Smarty at least gets 1, but that's it. That's a defuse. That was a fun round, but certainly an unexpected turn of events.
Make them regret
I mean, yeah, it's not really how I anticipated that going, unfortunately. Everyone at home, as well as us here in production, we don't get to get our passports out. We don't get to go to Brazil. You know, I was really looking forward to going there. I heard it was a really nice place. Really, friendly people.
Friendly people? Are they also bitter about the 7-1 scoreline? Or is that
Maybe.
just like a one-time thing? Okay. He could have done. This is a soccer game or a football game, depending on how you look at it. For those of you that don't know, Cal Army now is going to be faced with a few players flying on in and does manage to get one, but Random Schmuck proving too powerful. The spam just goes straight into the generator, and those bullets will not find their mark. Dadston now the only one remaining, and if I know anything, it's that Antmo is going to whiff shots. Okay, well, that's certainly something, but the Hunter's Fury to secure the round should be on lock. It's 1 HP for Random Schmuck, though, so this is technically doable. It's just based off of how Mickey Masters have played these rounds when they get close, right? If they play their diligent selves, you're going to see them doing just fine, but Dadston is going to get at least a headshot. Headshots both back and forth, but it is Eugene to clutch out the round. Oh boy, I mean, you can never really think it's over till the end.
No, especially when you're going against a player of that caliber, you really can't just be like, oh, that's it, round's over. And one thing I really have to give props to Dadston for is how much they're changing their setup. They're not sticking to one Cypher setup. They're showing that they have multiple and that it's going to be difficult to try and break these with a shock dart.
I mean, yeah, this is certainly a very interesting way to start off a round. Kimchi using that Hunter's Fury combined with the net is beautiful. Doesn't catch on for the assist, but still damage done. And Antmo just TPs into spawn. I didn't even hear that one, and I don't think the defenders did either. They get caught off guard before the trade comes through, but still, the defenders ending up with the opening advantage after the initial tussle, if you will.
Yeah, and Random Schmuck, Eugene, and I believe it. Already just sitting there waiting. Hunter's Fury does get popped by Eugene, but I don't think they were able to catch anybody, or there would have been a few deaths on that side. Kimchi is actually lurking out towards mid, and that could have some potential. Dadston not only gets Smarty and Eugene, or not you Smarty, gets Eugene, and was it Random Schmuck, but Smarty gets the trade, but Oni immediately takes it back. And you think their name's Oni because they like using the Oni skins?
Nah, I think they spelled Annie wrong.
Or they went with it. I mean, they are using the Oni gauntlet.
Hey, I don't know what you're talking about. They actually spelled one wrong. How about that? They spelled one wrong.
It would make sense if I and E weren't on the opposite sides of the keyboard.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come back to you on that one.
No, we'll talk about that later. But 3 players sitting on the ace site, and the Annihilation didn't catch them.
Down A.
Kimchi gets 3. Random Schmuck got 3 as well, but Army takes out Antmo and Schmuck. I don't know how the Annihilation did not catch them.
I mean, ironically, if you guys think way back, I know, 2 maps ago when it was Shrek's Ogres versus their opponent, I believe that was STXWTP, they had a game of basically whoever gets the first blood wins the round, and that first blood was found via defaulting every single round. I think Mickey Masters need to default, find a pick, and then choose to go in, because right now when they're just going for executes, they're getting taken advantage of. The spam is just proving too powerful, and you're seeing them fall here and there. I was gonna say, are they leaving the bomb intentionally towards A main there? But okay, they have decided to pick up that space yet again. It's an A split, and unfortunately for them, the split part of it not working out too well, as Antmo will fall down, and the Neural Theft used spotting out all possible positionings. Everybody's about to get crunched, and this is not going to go well. Random Schmuck at least with 1. The Operator versus the Bladestorm. The Battle of the Jets happening towards B, and now dashing them down. No updraft remaining. But Oni has the op and spotted the toes! And that's going to be enough to get the kill. Random Schmuck goes on down from the shadows now used, and very costly, but 1 bullet If that catches Tobito, you could see a solid kill, but it does just after the swing on out, and now one player left. It is Eugene. And unlike that bling bling boy from Johnny Test, I don't think you're going to be successful at the invention of a 4K here, and that is indeed the truth.
Yeah, unfortunately, right? You know, 7-5 in the half. It's still like, you know, the first 5 rounds would have told me that this is Mickey Masters games, but the last couple of rounds, you know, kind of brings me back to it is anyone's game right now.
They're just repeating last game.
Oh god,
That's all it is.
No.
I mean, it was what? It was 6-4. Right? It was 6-0, then it was 6-4, then it was 8-4.
Yeah.
So, although this one's a little bit different, I feel like it's just Mickey Masters have maybe let this one slip just for a second, but they're going to ring it in on the defense when they can just get random schmuck with the operator and call it a day. Like, I feel like that's what they're just waiting for. I know their defense is really, really solid, especially with that deadlock, the double sentinel. Like we said, remember, defense was favored with these two comps and how they play against each other. So now they're going on to the favorable side. You'd have to assume they are just going to run away with it.
Yeah, absolutely. But right now, you know, the recon dart from Eugene is going to tell them that they're not sitting in B main, but, you know, the fact that Antmo is pushed all the way up, or is at least watching this A main angle, shows them that, you know, they really haven't taken a lot of space, getting jump spotted out by Smarty. And, you know, Smarty's spots too there, but I don't think they know that Dadson is right there. And unfortunately, Dadson gets the first pick.
It is a first nice pick, but there is so much awareness that this pinch could be coming through, right? If there is a kill towards market, all of these attackers are going to think the site's free. But that's why you have players playing in CT and random schmuck. I mean, it's just over. That's just it. The execute was a little premature, not enough utility to cover, but that's a pistol round for you. And the defenses, they just make it there in time. Plenty of damage done, and an 8-5 scoreline now the case.
Yeah, and I mean, like, the largest thing that a lot of people, you know, honestly, in my book, fail to realize is just because you're the duelist player doesn't always mean you have to solo entry into site. You can always wait for your team, wait for them to group up, and then say, yo, I'm entering 3, 2, 1, and then go.
If only that game was this easy, where you could
I
just
wish.
go, all right, I'm killing the whole team, 3, 2, 1, and then you just do so. I mean, hey, we counted down at least 1 death here, but Tobito is only good for 2. I mean, this is an anti-eco after all. Antmo, you want to keep your guns here, keep every advantage that you have, but I have a feeling Antmo's going to push in without their teammates, and that they will. Kimchi almost had a chance to get 2 there. Random schmuck was going for an inspirational play, but does manage to get it working. 9-5 the score.
This it's not looking too hot, but at the same time, you can't like we always say, right?
You
Can't count the teams out just yet. But it's just that right now Mickey Masters is showing a really, really dominant play style, and it right now doesn't seem like Cow Blue is you know, finding a way to transfer over, and Smarty makes it out alive.
How does no one die there in that scenario? I mean, that's something. Wait, no, Smarty. You have a judge here in this scenario. Okay, Eugene, let the intrusive thoughts win. I kind of want you to shock dart your teammate. It would be quite funny. But, you know, trolling aside, I don't know how the defense has ended up with the first kill in this round. It went to complete shambles off the start. But somehow they have all of A main. They have tree. They have a trap set up for tree. And they also have a bait setup towards Market. Now this Jet, the only wild card, and they win their one. So now it feels like it's only a matter of time before eventually people start walking into the crosshairs of the defense. Tobito has to be aware and can't quite land the shots. The shift walk on through, but that's Antmo claiming the A main control, choosing to swing on out at the right time. Eugene's good for one, and now, yet again, it feels like we're saying this over and over and over. Dadston, the only one left. And this is not how you want your opponent's bonus buy to go. You want to win this one. And unfortunately, now getting shot in the back. The pinch is good. Random schmuck with a solid 3 kills. And now, just like before, doubling the kills of their opponent.
I'm getting flashbacks right now. I'm starting to think it might be a 13-6.
Oh, wait.
I'm starting to think it might be 13-6.
I forgot about that.
But, you know, if Mickey Masters don't lose the round, the next 3 rounds, it'll be a 13-5 and a very, very, very nice second half for them.
For those of you guys that need context, every game so far today has been a 13-6 that we've seen on stream, and this one might not be any different. Random schmuck, though, only good for 1, and that is actually a pretty good response. Antmo is going to do their best, but forced off because there's just way too many players to shoot across from them. And that's honestly a great start to the round for the attackers, but unfortunately, now you've kind of lost all of your space. You have nothing towards B main. Well, nothing towards mid, nothing towards A main. You kind of just are hoping to get some sort of advantage, and Antmo might give it to you here, choosing to jiggle, but backing off as well, not getting punished for what could have been a mistake, but Eugene now walking on over. I mean, the rotates have always been there off the initial contact, so maybe that's something that Cal Blue should at least try and realize. It's a tough read to make, and easier for us to see as we can see everyone, but I think they have it in them.
Yeah. It looks like they've got to just be getting ready
30 seconds
for
left.
this execute onto B, but the dart isn't going to spot out Antmo, and Antmo is getting ready to fight, but misses all of the bullets and is not able to get it, but Shock Dart will come through. Smarty is going to be taking out from CT, but you know, I don't know if they realize that there's one in there, but Army gets a Bucky shot through the smoke. Now they know that there is still indeed one in their spawn, and Army gets another pick with that Bucky. That Bucky is doing a lot of damage.
Dude, what is this game? What is this game? I mean, you had a full-on run-and gun with the Odin. If they just chilled out with the recoil, they would have been okay. But now you see the spam coming through. Wait, everyone could line up here! I mean, there's a world! But the Thrifty still comes through. Smarty can only do so much. And, well, the 13-6, the theme for the day, it's going to need to be 3 straight from Mickey Masters in this BO1 Grand Final.
And I believe they have the They should have an economy to do so, because they just have random schmuck. Buy full shield, pop the knives, buy your teammate, and then all of a sudden it should be a wrap just like that. And I believe that's what they're gonna do, but they're gonna leave Eugene sitting with a sheriff.
I mean, Eugene is the one that is going to be primarily using all of that utility to get on in. So they are kind of just relying on the players to get the kills off of the utility, playing for picks, right? Defense, you don't need to play aggressive. You can choose which players to play aggressive. And so, Oni going to be walking up towards tiles here by themselves. It feels like a death trap every single time you see a player by themselves. The trade might come through, but it's never good for the attackers, because that is all of your utility from that player gone out of the round. And, well, Antmo will at least spot them, but that's going to be it for the initial contact.
Oni gets spotted hopefully try and cut through mid, but it really just leaves the entirety of B site open and, just easy to be taken as Oni rotates through the spawn, and I don't think anybody's done the wiser, as they're just gonna sit out here and wait a little bit of time off.
30 seconds.
You have to be aware, though. Like, if you're the defense here, right? If you don't see a play happening and there's a giant wall B main, they might be waiting out the giant wall B main. You want to stack that a little bit more heavy, and ooh, the annihilation a little bit wide. The net still tagging onto the player. The kills are good for it, and the Blade Storm might not claim the first victim, but now 2 more left to go. All they need to do is stall this plant, and now they just need to get the first initial kill, and they have done it. They're going to back on up now, and that is enough time for Random Schmuck to run away. Cloudburst to get on out or have some fun movements, and will go down. But 11-6 the round 1, and that's all you can really ask for.
There's a little bit of talking going on in the game, but I mean, the economy though from Mickey Masters, they're still able to buy up. But unfortunately, you know, Dadston is not able to buy up to get a rifle, so they have to sit with a sheriff. And it looks like Cal Blue's just gonna be going right back towards B main and is just gonna sit there and wait.
Yeah, no deadlock wall here though this time. So I think you're gonna see it, yep, just a tad later off that initial contact, and that they will. Smarty eats into it and looking for the additional gap, but oh, the bounce is not good. That is a little bit unfortunate. But the job gets done, the first kill for the defenders, and yet again, Smarty proving their worth. So is Random Schmuck, holding this angle stone cold, but nobody else there to peek into their sights. Stadston testing the waters, jiggling towards market. Doesn't get spotted out just yet, so chooses to back away. It is going to be the smart decision, but do they know that? They will after the smoke goes down. And, oh boy, I mean, we have certainly a fun game in terms of the banter for these two. But let's let the guns do the talking, shall we?
One enemy remaining.
I think they're doing the talking.
And I mean, we say let's let the guns do the talking. I wanted to try and go silent just to let the guns actually do the talking right there, but you know, unfortunately for Cal Blue, those guns were the guns were not talking on their side this time, and 12-6 for Mickey Masters. I'm starting to think today is just cursed with 13-6.
Okay, so we gotta have like a theme going on for Spate Skirmish every single time we have it, because the first time it was we watched Lotus every single time.
Yeah.
Then we had blowout after blowout the previous week with a 13-0 in the mix. And now we're seeing 13-6s possibly every single game today. I mean, oh no, the first kill already going the way of Random Schmuck. The second as well. Antmo's good for 2, and 1 more left to go. It's Oni. And, well, you land 2. You got a few more to go, and that will be it. Antmo's disrespecting you in 13-6. If you missed it, you got to see it 3 times. That's the grand finals for you. I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, right, it's 13-6 after 13-6 after 13-6. I mean, what would have happened if it would have been a best of 3? Do you think we could have seen another 13-6?
I feel like we would have seen the fatigue come in. Like, I feel like eventually we would have started to seen something, whether it be one team go a little bit more comfortable.
I mean, absolutely props to both teams for making it. I think, yeah, they both secured a little bit of the prize pool, but you know, Mickey Masters, they're your Spate Skirmish number 3 champion.
And
what a great game for us.
That's back-to-back, by the way. They're back-to-back champions, all I'm saying. So if anybody that is in chat right now and you perchance play the game of Valorant, you might want to head over into our Discord or check out the Twitter, find out how you can join these tournaments. They happen every other week, not every week, every other week on Tuesdays right here on this channel. So if you think you got what it takes, grab some buddies and go and play in this tournament. But that is going to do it for us today. No best of 3 grand finals, just the one today. My name is AriCast, here with Zurek, and big shout out to production for helping us along with this one. It's been a long day, so we're going to end it quick. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.